Alright, so in this video we're going to have a look at how to reply to a quote request inside of Buildxact. First of all, you would have got this email because a builder using Buildxact has sent it to you requesting you quote on something. And we're going to go through how you use this button to open up Buildxact, see what they're requesting, ultimately price it and give it back to them. If I go here, it will do one of three things. One is it will say, hey, you don't have an account yet. Do you want to sign up for a free one? Number two is it could say you are an account holder, but you're logged in under the wrong email. Please change that. And number three is if you're already logged in, then it'll pop it straight into the right place, which is, for me, the estimate section of my Buildxact account. The job to be done then is have a look through things like the details, where we've got scope of work, we've got the builder's information, we've got in the next tab along the plans and takeoff, so we can get a gauge of the actual house or job that the builder's doing. Basically, I want to get enough information to be able to answer this question here of, am I going to quote for this, yay or nay? So if I go, look, yes, I'm going to quote now. It then unlocks a few of the other boxes and puts me into the process where I can now start quoting. Back to estimate details, just a couple of key things. Take special note of this submission date here. This is ultimately how long you have to do the quote request. And what will happen is if you're still in here or you've left it too long, this whole quote request will kind of lock up and you'll not be able to do anything further. Into plans and takeoffs. If you need to do any takeoff drawings, measurements for yourself, you can absolutely do that. We've got other videos elsewhere on how to do different types of takeoffs. The main job that you're needing to do is provide the costings back to the builder or trade. So I'm opening the appliances category. This is the stuff they've requested. So they've asked for prices on three different appliances here. And I'm pretty straightforward. I'm just going to put some prices in. So I will say that, that, and that. Now, in the estimate details, when there was a scope of work, they also said include the cost for the delivery. If I need to, I can add new items using the green pluses, or I can use the add button up here to add whole new categories. The intention here is for little things like delivery, I can pretty simply add that in. Or if you're looking at the job and you go, well, geez, I could definitely supply more on this job than I'm being requested for, you're able to potentially, creep that scope open a little bit and supply items or provide pricing for items that's not being requested. So I'm going to go delivery. And just say for now, $50. Save. Now there's a whole bunch of functions that you may not use. So markup, for example, down the bottom is one of them, but it's definitely there if you ever need it. I'm going to skip through to say specifications and quote letter. Specifications is if you need to add any extra detail. So you just want to list things like inclusions, exclusions, specific notes. This is a great place to do it. Then we'll get through to the quote and note that down the left-hand side here, these are all the different sections that actually make up this quote. So how much detail you provide here is completely up to you. And if you're going to be doing a lot of these quote requests, it can be a really great idea to build it the first time and save this layout so that you don't have to rebuild this quote every time. Instead, you can go select a different layout and just choose from the one that you've built. But I'll quickly go through this. We'll get rid of that. Quickly go through this. Cover page, I can do things like change the front image. Letter, I can change the wording that the recipient will see. Quote items is probably the biggest one, so I'm going to spend a bit of extra time here. The job you're doing is giving these guys a price. And although when we hit submit, it's going to drop directly back into their Buildxact account for them to use, you're going to want to, generally speaking, submit a document with that, which is this quote. So if you want to say, include GST, show the items, show the quantities, show the units, show the totals. That's going to give something like this, but really flexible as to how much you need. If you did any allowances, this section will be relevant, but if not, off it goes. Specifications, I didn't use that, off it goes. Quote summary, if the total is not already shown in the quote items, i.e. it's a really massive quote and it's not summarized easily, then quote summary is really good. But if it's a really simple 2 or 3 items, you generally don't need summary. Terms and conditions. This is, again, just a place where you can put general conditions that would be on all your existing quotes. And just to throw a mention again to the fact that you can save all of this in, you don't have to copy it in each time. Lucky last, just a bit of a back page. Whether you want this or not is up to you, but it just has your logo, an image, and that kind of stuff on it. Once you're done with it, you're going to go submit. And what that will do is confirm the details of the builder or trade that it's about to go back to, ask you if you want to add any messages to that, and send. So they will get a couple of things. They will get an email to let them know it's come in. They will also get a little alert similar to this one I've got over here, letting them know that a quote request has been replied to. And yeah, they will then take action to add that into their estimate. Note that you can actually update this until the deadline. What it's not mentioning here is unless otherwise closed off earlier. So if, let's say, the builder takes this, submits the quote, and they close the whole quote off because they've won it, this date may be earlier than the 9th of December. But the point of having this option to edit is in the case where someone submits a quote back and there's a mistake in it. The option is there for you to edit that and then update it without having to physically call or notify the builder.